So I know we're probably all pretty familiar by now of what a Next Gen MyCare is, but just a brief overview. So this program is an improved healthcare program for Ohioans who have both Medicaid and Medicare. This program helps to members get the care they need all in one plan. Through the Next Gen MyCare plan, a member chooses they will get all the benefits available through the traditional Medicare as well as Medicaid programs. So as you know, the Next Gen MyCare program went live on January 1st, and it was the initial 29 counties, and it's a phased approach. We're well into phase two now. Some of the goals that we hope to achieve are to focus on the individual. We want to improve individual and population wellness and health outcomes. We also want to create a personalized care experience. We'd like to support providers in continuously improving the care. We also want to improve care for individuals with complex needs to promote independence in the community. And then finally, we want to increase program transparency and accountability. So, who is eligible? Well, you must live in Ohio. You have to be 21 years or older, and this is a change from previous years. It was 18 and older, but it's now 21. You need to be duly eligible for both the Medicare and the Medicaid. You also have to have the full benefits only. These partials are excluded. So this is the map that you're probably quite familiar with. This is the Next Gen MyCare program rollout, which I mentioned we started in phases and beginning in January. That was the original 29 counties. And then April started phase two. We're well into July 1st is going to be here. We were just talking about that on Wednesday already. And then, of course, we saved the best for last with you guys in that dark gray area for your kickoff on August 1st. So, a little bit about the CareSource mission. We hope to make a lasting impression in our members' lives by improving their health and well being. Our pledge is to partner with providers to help members make healthy choices. We want to make it easy for providers to work with us. We want you to enjoy doing business with us. We want direct, ongoing, constant communication with you guys. We like to offer hands on training and support. And we also want accurate and efficient claims payments. So CareSource is also healthcare with heart. So we are mission focused, comprehensive, member centric health and life services. We're experienced with over 30 years of service. CareSource is a leading nonprofit health insurance company. We're also dedicated. We serve over 2.1 million members through our Medicaid, Marketplace, MyCare, dual special needs plans, and PASS programs. So some of our responsibilities to you guys are we want to ensure an effective member provider appeal and grievance process. We want to provide support for every provider through the Provider Services Call Center and our LTSS Provider Relations team. We want to comply with all state and federal regulations. We'd like to coordinate benefits for members with primary insurance. We want to notify providers within 30 days of any policy changes and new edits or system changes related to claims adjudication or payment key processing. This is also a link here to our CareSource updates and announcements page where you'll see all those updates and information. We also want to refer you to our provider manual for more information regarding all of our expectations and responsibilities. So a couple of important Next Gen MyCare member term definitions that you'll hear quite frequently. So we have our dual benefits members. So this is the individuals who receive both their Medicare and their Medicaid benefits through their Next Gen MyCare program. And then we have the Medicaid only members. These are the individuals who only receive their Medicaid benefits through their Next Gen MyCare plan. And then they have a separate plan for their their Medicare benefits. So again, what does Medicaid only mean? So that member is a dual eligible benefit member, but they're only enrolled in CareSource for their Medicaid. This means they've chosen Medicare fee-for-service or another Medicare Advantage plan to administer their Medicare benefits. So what does that mean for the member exactly? So they're not really enrolled in a integrated plan, which means they may have another care coordinator in their Medicare plan that will need to work with their CareSource care coordinator for their Medicaid plan. And what does this mean for providers? Well, providers will need to understand what to look for on those ID cards to indicate if the member is fully aligned or just Medicaid only. And then on this next slide here, I do have our ID cards. So you'll see on the left, this is the MyCare Fully Dual for members that have both their Medicare and their Medicaid through CareSource. And then on the right, this is what the cards look like when they just have their Medicaid only through CareSource. You'll see in the bottom right-hand corner there, it says Medicaid only. So just be cautious what to look for on these cards. So some of our member benefit highlights. So for the MyCare Ohio fully dual that have both their Medicare and their Medicaid through us. We provide members with Medicare and Medicaid coverage with no copays and extra perks that help save them money. So some of the highlights are all standard Medicare and Medicaid benefits. As I mentioned, no copays for Medicaid services, Medicaid covered drugs, or Medicare Part D drugs. We also offer enhanced transportation for these members, which is unlimited trips to doctor's appointments, pharmacies, the gym, grocery stores. We also offer dental coverage for oral exams and cleanings, fluoride treatments, plus implants. We also have a $287 each month for a healthy benefits allowance, and this can be used on anything from rent to a mortgage to utilities, groceries, cleaning supplies, personal care items. We also have the MyCare Rewards program, which is when you complete your annual exams and screenings, you're rewarded for doing that. We also have fitness benefits through Silver and Fit, which offers gym memberships and fitness classes for these members. And then on the MyCare Ohio Medicaid only side, we provide standard coverage with no copays and select services. So some of these highlights are all the standard Medicaid benefits, no copays for Medicaid services and Medicaid covered drugs. We also offer basic transportation, which is if you have to travel 30 miles or more, we will cover those trips for you to your doctor's appointments. We also offer dental coverage for oral exams and cleanings. So to provide services to our members in the Next Gen MyCare program, you must be enrolled with ODM and contracted with the member's plan by completing the following steps. So as I mentioned, to enroll with ODM, you can visit their Medicaid provider portal and complete that online application. And then you will need to contract with each of the Next Gen MyCare plans by contacting each of them individually. The CareSource contact information is highlighted there with our health partner contract form. And then again, just if you're enrolled with ODM, that does not automatically contract you with the plan, so you must initiate that contracting separately. So how does that work for CareSource? How can you contract with us? As I mentioned, you first need to start with enrolling with ODM, and you can access all that information through the P&M portal. Then you'll need to reach out to CareSource and complete our provider contract request form. I have a link to that form here. We also have a step-by-step guide to completing that contract request form. Make sure when you do this, you keep your application number handy. This allows you to check the status of your application throughout the process. Once everything is completed, you will sign the contract. And if you have any questions along the way, you can always feel free to reach out directly to our provider contracting team at Ohio Provider Contracting at CareSource.com. And then when everything's finalized, signed by both parties, you will receive a welcome letter from CareSource. This welcome letter will include your effective date and your CareSource provider ID number. Please keep that provider ID number handy because you will be using that to register for our provider portal, which I'll be talking about here in a few slides. So once you are contracted as a provider with us, we know that your time is valuable and that you're working with multiple MCOs. So to improve your access to provider training, CareSource has established a learning management system called Health Plan Resources, where we house and manage our custom education program. So all live training sessions are hosted and recorded, then posted to this platform for viewing by those that were unable to attend the live sessions. So here's the link for healthplanresources.com. It's a single sign-on. So if you're registered to use our provider portal, you can use a single sign-on form from the platform by choosing healthplanresources.com in the left menu bar. If you don't have any current portal access, you can access it by using your NPI and clicking on this link. Office managers and administrators that are managing a group of providers can sign in through the provider portal or create an account using your unique email address and the password of your choice to complete training and manage accounts for all providers under your TIN. So some of our required trainings, CareSource Next Gen MyCare Ohio providers are required to complete an initial and annual refresher training on delivering the quality care that meets our standards. So you can access the on-demand training via our learning management system, healthplanresources.com, or you can register for a live training session at the link provided. Some of the model care training includes identifying gaps in care, learning how to work with the integrated care team, also learn about developing treatment plans informed by health assessment results. And you can also learn how CareSource will work with you to improve the model of care delivery and performance and health outcomes. Another required training is our fraud, waste, and abuse. So here on this slide, we list the different ways that if you need to report fraud, waste, and abuse, you can call the hotline, you can email, or also by mail. To register for the live training, we have the Provider Education Training Series link here. We also have a link for the on-demand training, and then a link to our MyCare Ohio CareSource Fraud, Waste, and Abuse page. And again, also the healthplanresources.com, where you can attest to the training that you've completed. Some upcoming training sessions, especially for our LTSS providers. So the first Wednesday of every month, we usually do a rotating topic, and that's from 12 to 1. Usually this is the topic, it's a hot topic of, the week. If we're getting a lot of questions about a certain topic, then we'll do a training on it. The second Wednesday of the month, we're going to do our waiver provider orientation, and that's from 12 to 1. Then the third Wednesday monthly, we're going to do a provider portal training, also from 12 to 1. And then finally, our fourth Wednesday, we do a claim submission and service plan training, and that's offered from 12 to 1. So some other upcoming important information sessions for LTSS providers. Office hours will be scheduled as needed to support waiver providers with ongoing transition needs. If you'd like to be kept up to date on our upcoming office hours through 2026, please complete the registration form below. Additional training and in-person meetings will also be scheduled throughout 2026. Please register to be kept up to date on the latest news and updates from CareSource. So here's the registration link. You can fill out that provider communication form or scan the QR code, or you can reach out directly to CareSource OHLTSS HCBS support at caresource.com. When you reach out, please be sure to include your provider name, any email addresses to add to the meeting invites, and then your provider type and or specialty. So a little bit about our provider portal. We're excited to introduce our portal, a powerful and user-friendly platform designed to empower you with seamless access to essential information and tools whenever you need them. So our portal gives you the ability to verify member eligibility. You can also connect with the member's assigned case manager via contact info. You can access the member's person-centered service plan effortlessly. Also, our providing sourcing tool is available there to provide service opportunities. You can also, of course, submit your claims and then check the status of those claims. You can also view your explanation of payment. And then you can also have the ability to correct and resubmit claims if you need to with ease. Our disputes and appeals is also housed on our provider portal. You can also explore our comprehensive training resources and then much more to try to streamline your workflow and enhance your productivity. So this is how you're going to register for the provider portal. As I mentioned, you will need your CareSource provider ID. So we have a link here for our registration guide and then a link to access the login page. So you just want to go to caresource.com, click provider from the login dropdown, make sure that you select Ohio, and then you're going to click register here under register for the provider portal. You'll want to enter your information, including that CareSource provider number located in your welcome letter, and then follow the remaining steps to register. Please keep in mind, if you are a traditional and a waiver provider, you will need to make sure you are logging in with the correct CareSource ID. If you do not use your waiver CareSource ID, you will not be able to view your waiver member information, things like service plans and whatnot.
So
Get paid
Sarah,
electronic. Yes.
I think one thing to bear in mind is probably the majority of our providers, they don't have experience with managed care.
Right,
So I think that when we're talking about logging in and getting IDs and whatnot, that's new and foreign to them as well. So I
right,
don't know if you want to go into some more about, exactly how do they get connected with CareSource to get these IDs and get these things that are just completely new to them.
right.
And as providers, we have some providers that the entire agency might be made of two or three people.
Mhm.
I think something that is a lot of concern for folks is, handling the billing, the coding, things like that. Um, I think that's a lot of what's probably on the front of everybody's mind is doing it correctly.
Right.
Um, so if you could like go into more detail on those type of things.
Sure. So, we do, as I mentioned, we do have our training, our monthly training sessions where we do offer to walk through the portal and submitting the claims and the billing. And also we will connect you directly with your provider relations account manager, which for you guys is me. So you can always feel free to reach out, and we can do one-on-one training sessions where I can actually log in, impersonate you in the portal, and we can walk through step by step, each category, where you submit the claims, where you check on the claims payments, where you can, submit corrected claims. We can walk through that whole process. So never feel like you're alone and you have to figure that out. Just reach out to me and I'll be happy always to schedule one-on-one training with you. I'll even come out and, we can meet in your offices, face to face and do the training. So never worry about that. I know it seems like a lot and it's scary. And there's so much information and so many different systems that you have to log in and access. But you can do our group training sessions. But like I mentioned, the provider relations account manager team is always here to do one-on-one trainings. And if you need a little extra help and, submitting claims, we can do that, walk through that process one-on-one for you. And like I said, we have the trainings, and then, we follow the Medicaid fee schedule and all those codes are the same. So like personal care is the T1019. But we have resources and documents to share with you guys, that will get you prepared for all of that. Did I
But
kind of touch on that,
yeah,
Jen? Is that?
we've got a request for you to back up one slide
Oh, sure.
in the chat.
Okay, so the provider portal slide.
Yeah, and then somebody just asked, I'm reviewing my contract as you're presenting, and I'm not finding my CareSource ID. Where can I find that?
So you should have received a welcome letter. I know that there were some hiccups with the welcome letter. So if you want to reach out to me directly, I can put my email address is on these slides, but I can also put it in the chat. You can reach out to me directly and I can look that provider ID up for you. And like I said, I'd be happy to connect with you one-on-one to walk you through the portal. So just feel free to reach out. Okay, so getting paid electronically. So we partner with Echo Health to deliver provider payments. So we offer three payment choices. You have, of course, the electronic funds transfer, which is the preferred method. They also have a virtual card payment, which is quick remit, and then paper, of course, paper checks. So here's the enrollment instructions for Echo. You just click on that link and fill out the form. And if you have any questions about the EFT, you can reach out to Echo directly, but also you can reach out to me and I can help guide those conversations with Echo as well. So a little bit more about our LTSS HCBS provider relations team. So we pride ourselves on providing personalized assistance. So we provide tailored help to guide providers through onboarding and policies, ensuring a smooth start. We offer the comprehensive orientation and training. You'll receive detailed orientation covering services, billing processes, and compliance information for clear understanding. We also have dedicated account managers that are available to resolve questions, offer assistance, and build confidence throughout the partnership. So this email address here, this CareSource OHLTSS support at caresource.com. It's a mouthful, but that is our team shared mailbox. So if for some reason you can't get a hold of me, say I'm out of the office traveling for on-site meetings, or maybe on a lovely vacation in Bermuda, you can always email that mailbox and somebody will help you in real time. So this is just a breakdown of how our team is currently set up. So we have the 3 LTSS account managers. Jasmine Carter is responsible for AAA regions 1, 2, 6, and 7. I am responsible for 8, 9, 10B, and 11. And then we have Dawn, who's responsible for 3, 4, 5, and 10A. We also have 3 LTSS operations analysts, Charlene, Beth, and Angela, and they're running the kind of reporting behind the scenes and setting up any dashboards to try to make your lives easier. So this is the map of how we're all spread out across Ohio. So I'm in the blue section. You'll see kind of on the northeastern down section, and then Dawn's the orange, and Jasmine's the green, kind of central southern Ohio. And our contact information, my email address is listed here for your reference, as well as my contact phone number. This page just has all of our provider resources, anything you could possibly ever want to know about CareSource. We have our link to our provider manual and policies, also that updates and announcement page. We have information about claims, disputes, member benefits, newsletters, and communications. Also linked to P&M, any resources you need through them, as well as some billing submission guidance. Like I mentioned, if you need extra one-on-one billing guidance, we can offer that as well. So we also obviously partner with ODM throughout this transition, and we like to link and share their pages for their different trainings. And you can also sign up for their newsletter where they send out important information to stay in the know. And finally, welcome to our partnership. So we are looking forward to working with you guys. You're a valued partner. We appreciate your commitment to our shared members and goals. And we have a link here to our Welcome Ohio Next Gen MyCare CareSource page. And then finally, as I mentioned, there's that shared mailbox address that you can reach out to if you ever have any questions and are unable to get a hold of me. We also have a provider issue form that's linked here, and there's also a QR code. So if at any time you have any issues you want to put out there and get assistance, first, please you can reach out to me directly. But as I mentioned, if you have issues reaching out to me, you can either reach out to the mailbox or use that issue form. So I think we
We
might have
got
had some.
Yep, we got questions in the chat.
All right.
So first off is a quick question for N4L. We are statewide. I wanted to confirm who our rep would be. I think it was Dawn, but wanted to make sure for future questions.
So, nutrition for longevity, is that you, Justin?
Yes.
Okay. So I know you've worked with both Dawn and me. For statewide, it just kind of depends. We're like, sometimes we break it off by where the member's located. If you're having troubles with a specific member, then, we drill it down that way. But just copy me and Dawn both. We're both happy to assist with these statewide providers. So just feel free to reach out to either one of us. You can copy us both, and then that way we can make sure nothing falls between the cracks and that you get your questions answered.
Okay. All right. For payments, if claims are submitted through the Medicaid One Front Door bill to Medicaid, do you still register with ECHO for payment?
Yes, yes. Everyone will need to register if you want especially if you want their EFT payments through Echo.
Okay. And I know like we're looking at the chat here for questions, but also don't hesitate to like unmute yourself and ask something if it's like too much to type or, this is your opportunity to ask those questions. I know that there's probably some of them out there, and other people probably have the same. So does anybody have anything? Feel free to use the chat, but you can also just ask.
Carrie, I always have
Okay.
questions. It's some of it I think we've a lot is covered as similar or the same. For CareSource, for clients, do they just go onto your page to figure out who takes it? Like if they want to use Marietta Memorial Hospital, is that just listed on the CareSource website? How does that work?
Yeah, so our Find a Doc website will help them find the
Okay.
providers.
And then the payment rates, is that just a normal Medicaid rate? Like do you negotiate rates high, low, or?
No, we follow the Medicaid fee schedule
The
for all the
Medicaid,
waiver.
okay, the fee
Mhm.
schedule.
And
And
do you pass through 100% of the rate?
Yes.
Okay.
is this going to be set up the same way where like you have you're working with the area agents on aging, like we'll have the two care coordinators, one the area agency on aging, and then also one at CareSource, and CareSource is the one that approves.
Yeah, so I believe so I should have included that slide with how we work with you guys, but I believe for your area it's you have a manager that's at CareSource.
Yeah.
Correct. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So it's going to be like all the other ones, Carrie, where we have the
Okay.
waiver service coordinator at the AAA, and then we have the care coordinator at the NCO. And the waiver service coordinator makes recommendations for the care delivery, but the care coordinator has the final authorization of that care.
Okay. I just want to make sure that's all, the
Yeah,
same
that's
throughout
the
that.
MyCare, that's the MyCare program across the board.
Okay.
Sarah, a question that it's in my head that I don't know if necessarily our providers have thought about it. How long is the turnaround for payment? I know we can't put anything in stone and be like, you told me 4 days and it's been 5. But
Right.
typically, what can be the expectation on submitting a claim and getting paid, especially the first one, as we're starting?
So um according to ODM, we have up to 30 days to process a clean claim. However, it's usually within 2 weeks. So I'll
But
say
the
two
key
weeks
there
clean,
too is it has to be a clean claim.
clean claim, like
So,
yeah,
so part of the lift on the providers is going to be understanding the billing codes and
right.
what to put into a claim, which for some of our providers is new. Um,
Right.
so yeah.
Well, the great thing too that CareSource offers on our provider portal is we have our member service plans available there, and you can click on the service plan and bill directly from that member service plan. So it automatically populates the code for you. You're just responsible for inputting the units and the charges. So that
Oh,
makes
well,
it a
that's
little
good.
bit, yeah, makes it
Yeah.
a little bit easier for you.
Yeah. All right. Well, great. Well, thanks everyone. Like we said, we'll get the slides out. We'll get the presentation out. You'll have Sarah's information to reach out for more support and take advantage of that one-on-one. Even for us at the AAA, this is so much to digest.
Right.
Um, so take advantage of every learning opportunity you got and the help. Because I know we've got some larger providers who this is just like old news and they do it, but yeah, take advantage of it.
Right. And
So,
thank you for having me. And I look forward to working with each of you. And like I said, no matter how silly you think the question is, please reach out and I'll be happy to help you.
great. All right. Well, thanks everybody. We'll talk soon.
Thank you.